Hello everyone. Okay, let's go. I wanted to film this video for a while because today we're talking about all of my side hustles and all of the passive income that I have. My notes are ready to go, so let's get started. I currently have a total amount of 13 streams of income. And you've probably heard the saying about millionaires having at least 7 streams of income as declared by the IRS, which is the tax department in the US. And in my own experience, I can only agree with this advice because it makes you feel much more calm if you know that you have a certain amount of income streams versus just your regular job. And nowadays we all know it's layoff season, so lots of people are losing their jobs, and for many of them, that's the main source of income. So today I want to use this list and I hope it inspires you. I hope you learn something from them. And I also want to be super transparent about everything that I do. I will rate each of those side hustles with an effort to get to the first dollar. 5 stars means lots of effort. 1 star means no effort. Then I'm rating it on the passive score, which means 5 stars is truly passive. 1 star is not passive at all. And revenue, 5 stars here means lots of revenue, 1 star is little revenue. So let's get started with my list. My first source of income is Poshmark and Facebook Marketplace. Those are online platforms that you can go to buy used things or also sell things that you don't need anymore. And I do that by doing a quarterly check-in with my closet. So every single quarter I go to my closet, I check the items that I don't wear anymore, and I put them on Poshmark. This way I'm not throwing them away. Sometimes I donate the items too if I feel like, okay, I've had them too long, they're too old. But most of my clothes I actually sell on Poshmark, even if it's just for $20 or $25. And my efficient way to do this is uploading a bunch of products on the same day. So I'm not doing this every week, I'm doing this once every single quarter, where I have a bag of clothes that I want to put online. I take the photos and I add the descriptions. And then if something actually sells, Poshmark actually sends me a label, so all I have to do is print it out, put it in an envelope, put it in a box, and send it out. Super easy. I'm rating this effort to get to the first dollar, 1 star, super easy to do. Passive score, 4 out of 5. You don't have to do anything after you upload it on the platform. And revenue, I'm rating 2 out of 5. It's a good revenue source, but sometimes you don't sell anything, and it really depends on what the people are looking for. My second source of income is through online surveys. For example, a platform that is called user interviews. Online platforms like this typically work with organizations or young companies that want to do market research. So they go to those platforms, they try to find the right audiences for their questions, and then they ask those people questions about their product. For example, I typically do skincare, beauty, clothing, personal finance, and then they sit down with me for an hour, ask me a bunch of questions about my life where I have to answer truthfully, obviously. And then after that, they pay me with a gift card. Often I get about $100 per 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the study. So for me, I think it's a pretty good way of passive income if you're just getting started. Rating this on my scale. Effort to get to the first dollar, 2 out of 5. It requires you to sign up. You have to fill out a lot of surveys, a lot of things about yourself, so you do have to put some time in. Passive score, 1. It's not really passive because each time you earn money, you have to do something. And revenue, 2 out of 5. The amount of money that you get is not bad, but it's also not incredible. Moving on. Number 3. My Etsy store. I have an Etsy store where I'm selling digital sewing patterns. To get that store started, it required very specific knowledge on my end. And it took me quite some time to ramp up. Like, first I needed to learn how to sew, which I did because of a hobby. I never intended to make money with this. Then, after a couple of months, I realized, oh, I want to create a pattern. And then after the pattern was created for myself, I wanted to see if there's any demand out there. So I started my Etsy store, not really expecting anything. But now I think I have over 3,500 sales within 2 years, which is pretty crazy. This one also required me to get into design quite a lot. I had to get into the basics of Adobe Illustrator. I also needed a Canva Pro subscription because I'm writing my illustration guides with Canva Pro. I really enjoy the work, but if you're not a creative person or you don't enjoy the creative process, I wouldn't recommend it for you. To the rating. Effort to get to the first dollar, 5 out of 5 stars. This one takes forever. I mean, setting up a digital product, first of all, if it's something specific like a crafting guide, it will require iterations. You have to get into it, you have to test it, you have to find people to test it for you, so it requires quite a lot of effort. However, the passive score, I would also rate 5 out of 5 because once you create those things, it's on the platform and I don't have to do anything anymore. For example, for the past, I think 1.5 years, I really haven't uploaded a new product and my store is still running. Revenue, I'm putting 4 out of 5. There was one month in 2021 where I even paid rent with that Etsy store. Not this apartment, a different apartment, but still New York. My next sort of income is ChatGPT prompts. This is something that I recently started because AI is everywhere, but I think most people don't really know how to use ChatGPT in the right way. And it's super critical to create prompts that the AI actually knows how to work with. So I started playing with some very generic prompts, for example, a content idea designer, a generator for podcasts, etc. I am selling them on a platform that's called Gumroad. I think this one is usually used for software, but for this one I'm charging pay as you want, and you can pay as little as $1 if you're interested in the prompt. And this one actually required some deep research into ChatGPT and the AI prompt frameworks, to be honest. And I also needed a Canva Pro subscription to create the thumbnails and also the cover image. For the ratings, effort to get to the first dollar, 2 out of 5, because as I said, you need to know how to work with ChatGPT. You need to know how to use Canva. Passive score, 5 out of 5. Obviously, a digital product. Once you create it, it's out there. Revenue, 1 out of 5, because I am putting it out there for $1 a piece as of now. So I'm not expecting any crazy revenue from this, obviously. Next up, something very different. My rental property. I have a rental property in Oklahoma. I bought that one in 2020 and I'm renting it out with a positive cash flow every single month. Never been to Oklahoma, but it's a good market to buy in. Rental properties are a very old school and a very solid way to make passive income at the right time. I want to buy a second rental property, but I don't think this year is the right year for it because the interest rates are just crazy right now. If you're watching this in the future, I think the interest rates are at about 7 or 8%, which is insane. So I'm waiting it out and I hope maybe next year I can buy my next rental property. The biggest downside to real estate is you need an initial investment and you also need to do some research. You can't just go out and buy a random property and hope it's gonna generate you money. No, you need to go out there, do your research, find the property that works for you, and have the money ready. Effort to get to the first dollar, I'm putting 5 out of 5 because, as I said, you need to make money before you can earn it back. You need to do research and you need to work with a ton of people, especially the lawyers and the real estate people. Passive score, however, is also a 5 out of 5. So, because once you have that property, I have a property manager, I don't really have to do anything. I get a few emails each year where the property manager tells me, hey Maria, your renters want to move out, we need to find new people for it, cool. Or we need some repairs done, etc. The revenue is also 5 out of 5. As I said before, I have positive cash flow every single month and my renters are basically paying for my mortgage. My next source of income is also real estate, but a little bit different. It's an app that I started using about a year ago. It's called Landa. And I don't put that much money in this app. I think I have about $5,000 there. This app is focusing on crowd investing for real estate. So you can buy shares in certain properties for as little as, I think, $6, $7. However, it's pretty new, so I wouldn't recommend putting a ton of money in until it's actually proven. I've actually made solid returns with this app so far, but I also haven't sold a share, so I'm not sure how it works whenever I sell. How this app works is they pay you dividends every single month based on the shares that you own. For example, if you buy 10 shares, each share is $100, and you have a total investment of $1,000 in this rental property, you may get a couple of dollars in dividends every single month. And what I do is I reinvest them in more shares. To the ratings, effort to get to the first dollar, super easy, 1 out of 5, because you just download the app, you pick a property, you sign up, you pay, that's it. Passive score, 5 out of 5, you buy it, you don't do anything. You can just leave it there forever and not worry about it. Revenue, so far 1 out of 5, sure I'm getting dividends, some of the shares are going up in value, but so far, it's not really been a good source of income for me. My next source of income is fixed income through bonds. This is one of my favorite ways to generate passive income right now because the bond interest rates are just so high. So if you're not taking advantage of this right now, you should definitely look into it. Bonds are a very typical type of investment that people are doing where you're lending money to the government a specific organization, a bank, or a private sector unit. And what you get in return is you get a fixed interest rate. This is way less risky than stocks because typically you know exactly how much you're getting. Let's say you get an interest rate of 5% and you hold that for a year, you get that 5% back from your investment. Unless the company goes down, the government goes down, or wherever you put your money is gone. But that's very unlikely, unless you're Silicon Valley Bank. Okay, had to do it, sorry. Let's talk about the rating. Effort to get to the first dollar is, for me right now, this is 1 out of 5. I know I've done my research on bonds. I know exactly which bonds I'm looking into, which ones to buy. But if you're new to bonds and investing, I think this would be a 4 out of 5 for you. But it's worth it. So do read about it, find some videos on it that explain what they are. Passive score, 5 out of 5. You buy it, you forget it, you get your money a certain time later. Revenue, 4 out of 5 right now in 2023 because bond rates are insanely high. So really good source of fixed income. Next up, we have dividends from stock investments. Dividends are something that a company pays you back when you hold their stock for a certain amount of time after their earnings if they make profit. I typically invest in stock through a robo-advisor. I've been using Betterment for the last couple of years. And all the dividends that I receive, I automatically reinvest into my holdings. To the ratings. Effort to get to the first dollar, I put 3 out of 5 because you do need a brokerage account, you do need to pick the right stocks, you need to understand if you want that sort of passive income, and you also need to know how to reinvest it. Passive score, putting 5 out of 5. You buy it once, you don't need to do anything. Revenue, 2 out of 5. Personally, I do not pick stocks for dividends. I pick stocks for long-term value. So revenue from dividends is probably super low. My next source of income is payback or rewards from my credit card spending. I think I almost have 10 credit cards and I use all of them for different purposes. This allowed me to travel for free in the past couple of years because I use my spending in a very optimized way, and each credit card rewards me with something else. For example, I use my Chase Sapphire Reverse for all travel related things. Then I have a Citi Double Cash that I use for groceries. Or my favorite card right now, the Build MasterCard, because I pay my rent with this card. So you're just getting points for paying your rent without any fee. Honestly, I do not understand people that are not applying for this card because let's turn this around. Ratings. Effort to get to the first dollar is 3 out of 5. You do need a credit score. You need to understand which credit cards to buy, and then you also need to be very specific about the spending on your credit cards. I'm someone who's very organized, in case you couldn't tell. If you're not someone that's very organized, a credit card can quickly become a big problem if you forget to pay your bills. So pay your bills. Passive score. For me, it's a 5 out of 5. Once I figured out which credit cards to use, I'm just getting free money back. Revenue, 3 out of 5. I'm not lying when I say that currently I have probably over $5,000 in rewards on my credit cards that I can use. So the revenue is actually pretty solid. All right, let's talk about some content creation things. First one is the TikTok Creator Fund. Next to this YouTube channel, I have a TikTok account where I'm posting a lot of random stuff, short videos mainly. TikTok invited me to their creator fund, which pays out some money for the views that you get on TikTok. However, this source of income is really low. Like, it can be in the cents categories on a daily basis. So I barely check how much I make there. It's not really important for me. And I also would not recommend this as a stable source of income. To the ratings. Effort to get to the first dollar. 4 stars out of 5 because it takes a lot of time to get 10,000 followers on TikTok, and you also need to post a lot of content to get those views ready. Passive score, 1 out of 5 because you need to keep posting on TikTok to make more money, unless some of your videos go viral and keep going viral forever. Revenue, 1 out of 5. I mean, if I make 20 cents a day, that is not even, I don't know, not even a spoon of milk in New York. Or my lovely tea. However, next category is also content creation. It's about UGC deals that I do. UGC stands for user-generated content, and brands reach out to me as a creator and say, hey Maria, we have this product. Do you want to review it for us? I'm like, sure, here's my rate. So brands pay me to film creative content for them. Typically, I don't even have to post this on my personal channels. The brands take that content and they post it on either their social channels or they put it on their website, they put it on their Amazon. The deals are actually pretty high in revenue. When I started doing this, I was actually shocked how much brands pay for content creation. For me, it's a creative outlet. I love creating things, so it's super fun for me. To the ratings. Effort to get to the first dollar, 4 out of 5, because the brands need to know you. So that requires some sort of social media presence or you need to reach out to them proactively. Passive score, 2 out of 5. You do need to do some work, obviously. You need to film some content, you need to do iterations with the brand, so it's not truly passive. Revenue, however, 5 out of 5. It's been a surprisingly big revenue source for me in the past couple of months. Next up, we have the YouTube Partner Program. I got invited to the YouTube Partner Program a couple of weeks ago, I think in the beginning of February. I got really excited when that happened because I watched a bunch of videos before saying how much other people made, so I was very excited to make that happen for my channel too. Also, creating videos like this takes time, so it's not something that you can just film, put online and then hope you suddenly get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. No, it takes time. To the ratings, effort to get to the first dollar, 5 out of 5, hands down. I needed to learn how to video edit, I needed to create this channel, I needed to brainstorm ideas, camera equipment, I needed Canva. So many things for this channel that I'm doing, just for you. Passive score, 3 out of 5. There is this category that's called evergreen content, where you upload something that can also be watched in 5 years. What I've seen in my videos is that you usually upload videos and they're doing well in the first week or two, and then they kind of slow down. You need to keep posting videos in order to make money here. Revenue, 3 out of 5. It's not amazing, but it's also not like TikTok where it's a few cents a day. So overall, I think a pretty solid way to make some passive income if you have the time and if you're a creative person like me. Next up is also connected to the social media presence that I have. Affiliate links. I earn commission from products that I use in my videos, but I only show products that I actually use and that I'm excited about and that I want to share with the world. As part of that, I'm part of some affiliate programs. For example, I have an Amazon storefront. If you're curious about my desk setup, for example, you can find all of that there. I also recently got accepted by the Like to Know, the LTK creator app, which is typically for fashion. So I don't really know who my audience will be and I have to figure that out. Or through brand affiliate programs that I have. For example, in my work desk setup video, I worked with some brands there and they provided me with affiliate links, so I do earn commission if people decide to buy a product there. For the ratings, effort to get to the first dollar here is 3 out of 5. You do need some sort of social presence to make this happen because otherwise you're not gonna make any commission. You need people to look at your link. Passive score, 5 out of 5. Once you put the links up, once you have the stores and everything set up, you don't need to do anything unless you want to. Revenue has been okay-ish, so I'm putting 3 out of 5. I think it could get much better. I know some people that make way more money than I do from affiliate links, so let's see what happens. My last source of income should not surprise you. It is my regular job. I study computer science and I've had this job for 7 years now. And this is obviously the biggest source of income for me, so that's where I put most of my effort and time. And effort to get to the first dollar here was very high, 5 out of 5. Had to go to school, had to show some experience, and had to get promoted internally to make it happen. Passive score, 1 out of 5. I have to work 5 times a week, so there's nothing passive to it. Revenue, however, 5 out of 5, because tech really does pay well and I really do enjoy my job. Okay, this is it. All of my streams of income. I hope this was helpful. If you want to see more content like this about personal finances, money, I have so many things to share, especially about credit cards, how to use them, how to budget. I'm obsessed with financial spreadsheets that I use for my personal life. I'm happy to share this, but I need to know. So let me know in the comments below what you want to see, like and subscribe, and see you next time.